Honorable viewers, I welcome all of you to my YouTube channel, Department of English. Today's topic is Dante's Inferno summary. So let's get started. Inferno is the first part of Indian poet Dante Alighieri's narrative poem. Alighieri's narrative poem, The Divine Comedy, which was completed in 1320 and first published in 1472, written in 34 subsections called canons. Inferno describes Dante's journey through the nine circles of hell with the ghost of the Roman poet Virgil as his guide. The poem is widely considered to be Dante's most important and influential work and has been translated into many different languages. At the beginning of the poem, Dante is lost in a dark wood, symbolizing sin, and is attacked by three wild beasts. He is rescued by the ghost of Virgil, who tells him that he was sent by Beatrice, Dante's deceased lover in heaven, to help save his soul. In order to reach salvation, however, Dante must accompany Virgil on a journey through the nine circles of hell. The two begin at the Acheron, the river leading into hell, where a boatman named Charon ferries them down the river into Limbo, the first circle of hell. Limbo is mostly populated with non-Christians and people who lived before the time of Christ. Virgil lives here along with the other ancient Greeks and Romans. Virtuous Jews and Muslims also reside here. The inhabitants of Limbo live in a peaceful green meadow and are not tormented. Dante and Virgil continue on the second circle of hell, where lustful sinners are blown around by a strong wind. Dante stops to talk to the spirit of Francesca de Rimini, who had committed adultery with her husband's brother. Dante faints out of sympathy for her plight. When he awakens, he is in the third circle of hell, where the gluttonous sinners lie in the mud and are tormented by a cold, heavy rain. Dante speaks with a glutton, Sicco, who prophecies the future of Florence. Dante and Virgil then continue to the fourth circle of hell, where the avaricious and prodigal sinners are condemned to roll around heavy weights for all of eternity while berating each other for their sins. In the fifth circle of hell, they say the waterfall and sullen sinners stuck in the muddy river stakes. The waterfall fight each other in the muddy water, while the sullen sink below it. As they are ferried down the river by the boatman Phileas, the waterfall spirit of Filippo tries to attack Dante. Dante and Virgil arrive at the walled city of Dis, but the demon guards will not let them pass. An angel from heaven comes to open the gates for them and then leaves. The two poets continue inside into the sixth circle of hell, where heretics are tormented inside red hot tombs. They meet the soul of Perinatedect Liberty, and Epicurean aristocrat who predicts Dante's exile from Florence, and Gabrielist de Campti, an old friend of Dante's father. As the two move one towards the seventh circle, Virgil explains to Dante the structure of hell. It is arranged in a conical shape with the circles becoming increasingly together and smaller. The first six circles of hell are devoted to the sins of overindulgence, while the seventh circle contains those found guilty of the more serious sin of violence. Those guilty of the most serious sins of fraud and treason are found in the eighth and ninth circles. The seventh circle of hell consists of three rings. In the first ring, tyrants and murderers are tormented in a boiling river of blood and shot with arrows by censors. If they try to escape. In the second ring, twisted trees in a dark forest represent those who have committed suicide. In the third ring, blasphemers, sodomites, and usurers are condemned to walk around what sand under a rain of fire. While Dante stops to talk to some usurers, Virgil summons of the monster getting to talk him and Dante on a frightening ride into the eighth circle, where fraudulent sinners are punished in 10 different poses representing different kinds of fraud. In the first pose, seducers and painters are whipped naked by demons. In the second, flatterers are stuck in exorment. In the third, Simonists were people who used bravery to obtain high position in the church, are buried with their heads in rock and their feet held to flames. In the fourth, astrologers and magicians are punished by having their heads on backwards. In the fifth, baritors or corrupt politicians are thrown into a lake of hot peace by demons. In the sixth, hypocrites must wear lead robes. In the seventh pause, thieves are beaten by venomous serpents and transformed into serpents themselves. In the eighth pause, fraudulent counselors are set on fire. Here, Dante meets the ancient Greek hero Ulysses and the papal advisor guide the Montefeltro, who advised the Pope to massacre innocent people thinking that his soul would be protected by a papal pardon. In the ninth pause, the source of scandal and schism are repeatedly disemboweled. In the tenth pause, various forgers, counterfeiters, liars, and impersonators are punished. Dante and Virgil move on the ninth circle of hell, which consists of 4 rings of traitors, the first for those who betrayed their kin, the second for those who betrayed their parties and homelands, the third for those who betrayed their guests, and he fourth for those who betrayed their benefactors. These sinners are frozen in ice to various degrees. In the fourth ring, they are completely covered in ice. At the bottom of hell, Dante and Virgil see the gained body of the fallen angel Lucifer, who sews the souls of the 3 worst sinners, Judas, Brutus, and Cassius, in his mouth. They climb up Lucifer's body until they emerge onto the surface of the earth again. Dante wrote Inferno as a parody of the Catholic Church and its beliefs. Dante harbored a considerable amount of bitterness towards the Church due to his exile from Florence by Pope Boniface. But 4, after a political fiction, Boniface, maybe it's a 4. After a political fiction led by the Pope seized control of the city in 1302. The main themes of the poem are sin, salvation, punishment, and dark humor. It is also propaganda piece in which Dante takes jabs at his enemies and praises his friends. So that's all about Dante Inferno. For the timing, thanks for your patience here.